What is everyone? This is Star Marvel 718. This is going to be a spoiler free, my thoughts, review on Zack Snyder's Justice League. Yo, this was a good movie. And mind you, let me give you a little background, I guess, on myself. 36 years old, comic book fan, fantasy fan, anime. I've been to comic books since I was first grade. I'm a Marvel head. I'm a big time Marvel head. You name it. You know, X-Men, Avengers. That's been my thing. You guys see from my wall. Got Ninja Turtles, Bruce Lee, Spider-Man, Transformers, like Spider-Man, and I would say like the X-Men, probably my favorite comic books of all time. So I know just hearing that, you guys probably think my opinion is gonna be very biased. It's like, oh, this is a Marvel head. He's doing a review on a DC, property material. This was a very good one. Oh, and also too, let me show you guys this. I don't know if you guys can see. So this way you guys know it's not too biased. See, this is my Batman Hush shirt. So even though I'm a Marvel head, Marvel fan, boy, and things like that, my opinion is gonna be very neutral. It's gonna be very neutral. I'm not gonna be biased or anything like that. So, without any spoilers, this was a very good movie. If I had to compare this movie to the theatrical release was like a good Friday night movie that you take a day to, that has action, that it's just pretty much like a hodgepodge of ideas, comic book characters, properties thrown together in a somewhat cohesive storyline. The theatrical release, one was made by Josh Whedon, featuring Josh Whedon and taking over Zack Snyder. So the reason why it just came out, his daughter said she died of suicide. As a comic fan we grew up with, that we, admire and look up to, Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman, Flash, Cyborg, and Aquaman. This the first movie, the first theatrical release, it fell a little flat. That I have to admit, that's something I do have to say. It did definitely fell a little flat, but for a regular moviegoer, it wasn't a bad movie. But someone who's like a diehard comic book fan, and also too, I'll show you guys this. Got my Spider-Man shirt, keep calm. So you guys see, I got Spider-Man and DC evenly. But getting back to my thoughts on it, this movie, the first movie was okay. Now my thoughts on the second movie. The second movie, if I had to compare it to the first one was like a car crash. And I know that sounds like kind of crazy. It's disastrous, but for some reason you couldn't take your eyes off of it. So that's I would consider it for the first movie. Now the Zack Snyder rendition of the Justice League movie, this was a beautiful Iliad of emotions. This movie was more emotionally deep. It made you feel for the characters. I can tell you there's a few times where I even teared up. Like I said, I can't like really dig deep into like which scenes and things like that was more emotionally hidden, or more emotionally that hit me, because like I said, I don't want to spoil. But yeah, man, like this movie, made you love these characters. This movie gave you a connection to these characters. Like, if you think about this, all these superheroes and heroines, Wonder Woman, they're pretty much like gods in their own right. And this movie gave them a sense of humanity where you connect to them. You felt like, for me, I felt like little Chris. I felt like that little boy that first read, that first comic book, you know, when I went to Kathy's when she was selling like the dollar candies, penny candies, and got comic books and things like that. Like you guys can see my face, like it just brought back like this nostalgia of, wow, like these are the heroes that I grew up watching and reading and things like that, like who I want to be like, the ones who helped shape the man that I am today. Because like comic books, for me, like comic books, besides my parents, I'm not gonna take away from my parents, shaped the man who I am today. And it's just like watching this brought back that wholesome innocence. And I know it sounds weird, but like that's how like I truly felt. Like and it's crazy because Josh Whedon, he's known for like doing like Marvel problems and stuff like that. But this movie, to me, and I know a lot of DC fans is gonna probably hate me for saying this, it had a darker, emotional tone of a Marvel movie. Because like anyone who watches Marvel movies, like they they bring you in with the comedy, they bring you in where like you love these characters. While the Josh Whedon movie, it was just dark, brilliant, just like DC characters walking around. Me strong, me powers, me beat you, me fight you, me beat you, me fight you, me strong, me powers. That's how kind of like that movie was. But this one was kind of like, I have these abilities, I have these powers, but at what cost? Like I lost this, I don't have this, I don't have the freedoms like a regular person have, like the responsibilities that's automatically dumped in my lap that I don't want, but now that I have to deal with. So like a lot of the movies was pretty much about characters redemption, and like I said, I'm trying my best like to not spoil you guys, but it's like a lot of character redemption in this movie, a lot of characters self-reflecting on what they have to do. So pretty much, if you're the thing about like with Spider-Man, with great responsibility come, great powers come with great responsibilities. This movie showed each character aspect of that, like of that theory, of that notion, and you see how every character had like a type of like, I'll say like a skeleton in the closet. Like I said, it made them very human, and I'm sitting back like, this was great. This was a movie where it's gonna break records. It's definitely gonna break records for like attendance, people watching it. Like it's like this movie, and as you guys can tell, like my usually my reviews is like this. I'm usually like all over the place, but this movie do more than that. Like it just, it give you foundation, but then it have you all over the place. The action was top notch. Don't get me wrong. The action was top notch. Um, let me see. The scenery, some of the CG, when you look at it, look a little wonky. Like for the most part, for me, Cyborg, the CG on him was okay. Some of the CG for like the backgrounds and the settings, like especially like Themyscira, it looked. Sorry, I got headphones. My headphones is falling out. Like Themyscira looked a little shaky, but I'll be honest with you, that still don't take from the story. And this story to me was still a great story, a beautiful story. Um, Let me see. Even like when it came to like the side characters, like Cyborg's dad, Superman's mom, Lois, and people like that. It's still, even with those people, there was well rounded where it brought you in, and like, and you guys can see like I'm using like a lot of hand motions because that's how you can tell like how emotional this movie was. Like I feel like I'm like on my Jewish Italian shit, like talking with the hands. I'm a New Yorker, so in New York, it's a lot of hand gestures and motions and things like that. But this was like a very, very good movie. Like I said, I want to dig deep, but I hate when people try to say how good something is, but then they throw in a lot of spoilers. And for me personally, the best way to describe this movie, you just have to experience it. And that's how I truly feel. Like, you just have to just jump into it. Like, this was a good movie where if you're a comic fan, you appreciate it. Like, just think about the days to, like, when you was a kid, or maybe if you're a recent comic fan, just think about the days like when you first got into comic books. It brings back that feeling. If you're a non-comic fan, it's just a deep, rich story. Like I said, it's like an Iliad. It's like a epic poem about heroes, gods, monsters, demons, just going at it. Like, to me, this is like what entertainment is about. And I know a lot of people is a little shaken off about the 4 hour movie. I'll be honest with you, it don't feel like that. It really don't feel like that. Like, as long as you take, like, you know, your bathroom break before you start and have your snacks or you eat whatever, this is not bad at all. Like, the 4 hours, you do not feel the 4 hours. It's just, it don't feel like anything, man. It like the way everything rolls, because like between action, story development, character development, the drive and everything, it just, and when you look up, you're like, holy shit, like, was this really 4 hours? Like, the movie's 4 hours and 2 minutes long. I'm like, I spent past the credits and everything, because I watched it on HBO Max, of course. But it's worth it, man. It's definitely worth it. Like, for anyone that wants like a good watch and you have time to kill, you want to kill a good amount of time, 4 hours, pick up this movie. But this video has been long enough. I'm gonna, you know, end it right here. But guys, let me know what you think. You know, like, subscribe, comment down below. You know, start more. You know, my saying, yo, let's have a conversation. You know, anime, manga, comic books, I'm all about that. But this is definitely a great movie to watch. Guys, hopefully you guys feel the same exact way I felt. I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.